I'm Larry Nagoyani reporting for Lexington Prosecutor News Online. Today, we're here at the Hilton for Prosecutors Conference Winter 2012, Lexington, Kentucky. With me is Commonwealth Attorney Ray Larson. Mr. Larson, what is this conference about?
This is an opportunity for the Commonwealth attorneys, the people that prosecute felonies, the most serious crimes all across Kentucky, to get together to discuss the issues that we're all facing. And it's a good opportunity to get with everyone, and we have a lot of discussions about how can we best resolve some of these things. How do we deal with some of these issues that we're faced with every day in court?
Well, we just got Kathy Phillips sneaking in the meeting. Hey, what are you expecting to learn from this conference?
Well, I heard it's supposed to be really good this morning, that we're going to hear the 911 tape from the Casey Anthony trial.
What are some of the issues that prosecutors are facing today?
Well, we're primarily here for a winter meeting, but we're dealing with a lot of legislative issues because the Kentucky legislature is in session and they're adopting the 2-year budget, and we desperately need proper funding for prosecutors to be able to do our job appropriately. And so we're spending a lot of time talking about budget issues and also doing some educational training for our prosecutors concerning DUIs and the other matters we deal with on a daily basis.
You're going to give us a speak today. What is that about?
Well, today I'm going to talk about money. We need money to pay our staff. It's always nice to be paid when you work hard. So we have some challenges ahead of us in the 2-year budget. So we're working closely with the governor and the legislative leaders in Frankfort to be sure that we're properly funded. And so we're going to talk about that today because some of the best lobbyists, I think, in the state are our prosecutors, because we're back home on the front line. And I think our legislators understand we work very hard and our staff works very hard, and so we need to address some budget issues that are very critical to our success.
Well, good luck with that.
Well, a number of different things. Of course, drugs, prescription drug and illicit drugs. Methamphetamine in my area is very much of a problem. Dealing with those issues and is very much at the forefront of a lot of that we do. Of course, we're doing that with ever decreasing budgets and manpower, so it's a difficult world out there for prosecutors right now.
What have you learned so far from this conference?
Well, it's been a very good conference. We've been able to go have a variety of different things. Yesterday we went through a lot of vehicular homicide and traffic safety issues, which is a growing problem with the drugs that we've got throughout this Commonwealth. We had technology yesterday. Use of iPads and other types of technology during both in the management of the practice and during trial is a growing area, and we have some good presentations with that. Today we're having a guy that speak on 911 call analysis. It's kind of a new type of looking at 911 calls, if that person was actually the perpetrator. It's been very interesting so far.
What are some of the issues that prosecutors are facing today?
Well, I think we're seeing a majority of us are seeing a rise in violent crimes across the state. So that's always a concern on us, and our victims that we're dealing with are we're having to be able to consult with them and explain to them what they're looking at. And as things are changing, it's difficult for us to keep up with it and keep them informed also. What
have you learned from this conference so far?
Well, actually, we're in a great session right now on 911 calls, and that's been really informative. It's been a lot of fun, and we got a great speaker in here right now. Yesterday we went over some of the changes in the legislation and some things we're looking at coming up in the legislature this year.
What have you learned so far from this conference?
This has been a great opportunity for all the prosecutors to get together. We've had some great topics, a lot on technology, a lot of 911 calls, so it's been very educational so far.
So what are some of the issues that prosecutors are facing today?
Well, we dealt a lot with our legislative issues, obviously the budget problem that we're dealing with, along with trying to get Sudafed scheduled, along with a lot of the other issues that all the prosecutors are dealing with.
The biggest issue we're facing is funding, or lack thereof. That's the one thing I think that all the prosecutors can band together and work to get more of, is come together and tell the legislature really that this is government's #1 job, is to protect the public. That's what we're here to do. And we need the tools to do it, and that includes paying our employees.
What are you expecting to learn from this conference?
The biggest thing I think that we get here is the networking. Visiting with our fellow Commonwealth attorneys, seeing that everybody has very similar problems, But in addition, we've got some great speakers that have come in. We've got the fellow we're listening to right now talking about 911 calls and what you can learn from them. Had some great speakers yesterday as well. Overall, it's been a great conference.
What have you all learned from this conference so far?
Yesterday we went over vehicular homicides, and the officers spoke about how they could determine speed and that sort of thing in crashes.
And yesterday we also learned a little bit about technology that we can use in the courtroom.
And today we're learning about analyzing 911 calls in different homicide cases, which has been really interesting today.
Thanks for watching Lexington Prosecutor News Online.